are we doing tonight? Good, I hope. What I want to do today is talk to you about knowing how to separate heat sinks from, like if you care about part computer towers and that, the desktop towers, knowing what you have and going to, when you go to a scrapyard, if it's the only scrapyard in your area, for let's just say, I don't know, I'm just going to say a 50-mile radius. Not much you can do. But if you happen to live in an area where there's multiple scrapyards, all I'm going to tell you is check on two things. A, how do they classify the heat sink you bring in? And I'll get into that in a minute, so keep that thought in the back of your mind. And B, what kind of pay do you get on it? If you've got multiple yards, you might get one or two that classified as aluminum breakage, for example, and I'll get into that in a point in another minute. But then you may get some that are, we'll give you clean aluminum prices for it. Now, the reason I'm going to bring stuff up is because here is a heat sink out of a desktop. Nothing to it, right? This will go as clean aluminum, which, for me, right now, it'll change here probably in a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, who knows. But as of today, clean aluminum heat sinks are 40 cents a pound. And this is just one way they'll look. This is one of many. Now, here is also a clean aluminum heat sink. It looks a little different from that one. You see? Both heat sinks, both clean aluminum. Nothing special to it. They'll, like I say, the yard I go to, 40 cents per pound on these. Now, other yards may, on the same heat sink, may give you a lower price due to it may be a smaller yard. They may be looking at their overhead costs, and their prices may vary due to the overhead they've got. There's different things that play in on what that specific yard's going to pay. Now, the reason I wanted you to put a couple things in the back of your mind is here's where it starts getting tricky, y'all. If you're new to this game, and you really want to get into this, this is where I want to show you the difference between a heat sink and a heat sink. You may say, what's the difference? No, I don't know. If you're new to this, you may be thinking, I don't quite follow. What's this screwball talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, well, then it doesn't apply. This is a copper aluminum heat sink. Copper, aluminum. And then there is the copper again, big deal. Aluminum. Let's see here. Aha! Something I didn't look at before. And I want to get into this. This piece here going around the copper, that's magnetic. Magnetic. And then doesn't stick, aluminum. So this one I'll want to keep aside because they may give me aluminum breakage prices. Maybe not. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. I have to talk to them at the yard and see which way they want to go. Each yard's different. Because of this metal, they might look at it, well, we need to give you aluminum breakage prices because there's steel on it. Some may. I go to a yard that if you have copper aluminum mix like that, it just goes straight into the aluminum breakage pile. Doesn't matter. Right to aluminum breakage, dirty aluminum. Now here, same thing. Copper aluminum heatsink. The copper is here. Here. It runs through, if you can see there, and there. The copper runs through to them 4 points. Now, the one yard I go to will still classify that as aluminum breakage due to the aluminum copper mix, which is like 7 to 10 cents per pound at that yard. I go to a facility in Fargo that'll give me, they classify these as copperoids, which is strictly aluminum copper mix, but they classify it as copperoids, which is 90 cents per pound. Now, I have to keep this and this one separate for the simple fact is, if they want to do breakage prices here, and I include this one, I'll get breakage prices for both. I don't want that. So I'm going to keep this one separate, put it in my pile, get my 90 cents per pound if it's at that price at the time. And then if they say, no, we got to classify that as breakage, well, no big deal to me. But they may say, you know what, we'll still give you the 90 cents per pound or whatever the going rate is on it. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you about that. And if you're looking at getting into e-waste recycling or just scrapping as a whole, it doesn't even have to be e-waste recycling. I'm just going to say recycling as a whole, and if you come across heat sinks, know your role. Know where you're at. Talk to them. See how your yard wants to handle that business. And it doesn't hurt to ask questions. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? So with that being said, I hope this video was beneficial to you. I hope that for the most part, I hope it's educational. I don't know if anything I say will be helping anybody. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I just wanted to put that out there. This way, somebody has future reference, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, that being said, I'll let you go. Alright? Hopefully I'll see you down on the flip side.